Oh man, another painful week for crypto. Crypto is now setting for its fourth weekly red candlestick consecutively, and it's been a painful end to August and start of September. You can see here Bitcoin looking to hold desperately its 200 weekly EMA. Also at the same time, the dollar index is absolutely roaring. In this video, I'm going to break down the key catalysts because this week could be setting the direction for the next few months. Yes, if you look at the calendar, we have some critical moments coming up this week, and the market is already pricing in. 92% of the market is pricing in that the Fed is going to pause in 10 days from now at the next FOMC. But there's one piece of critical data, in fact, two pieces of critical data coming out this week, starting on Wednesday with our CPI data. Of course, Jerome Powell will be armed with this figure going into his next FOMC meeting, where markets are widely anticipating him to take a pause and think about it before the next meeting the following month. We also then have the day after, on Thursday, the PPI inflation as well. So both inflation pieces of data coming out, and the markets will be waiting with bated breath. But there's a bigger problem. Look at the dollar index right now. What is screaming at you? When you look at this right now, the dollar index here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 consecutive green candles here to the upside. Big movement here, reclaiming its weekly EMA ribbon, but more powerfully, look at the EMA ribbon there. It's trying to flip. In fact, it's already started flipping where the lighter colored lines are crossing over the darker colored lines. If you don't know what this means, if you don't know how to trade or invest using EMA ribbons and other technical indicators, ijaz.uk/TA, I will walk you through exactly how to do it in that education program. Big candlestick here to the upside, and this dollar index has been causing all of the pain here in the crypto markets and wider. The Nasdaq as well. Markets are rotating risk off. We had the oil prices increasing. People are flocking to the safety of the US dollar and getting their safe return from the government bonds. Why should they risk it? Why should they be in risky tech stocks? Why should they be in risky Bitcoin right now when they're getting so much yield for free, parking their money in US dollars? This is why increasing interest rates creates a risk-off environment, and that is why Jerome Powell has to tread very, very carefully. If CPI shows signs of coming to the downside, if PPI this week shows signs of coming to the downside, that could be the way we can finally, after 8 consecutive weeks, get a red candlestick here on the dollar index. That will come at a crucial time because Bitcoin is trying desperately to hold here. We cannot afford another week to the downside here on Bitcoin. Then we start playing out horrible price targets. Remember yesterday, if you've not watched my video, I shared with you this horrible M pattern playing out here on the Bitcoin chart. That's a reversal pattern. That could then trigger price points of 20,000 and lower. You guys know the price points I'm looking out for on the head and shoulder. This double top reversal pattern brings you all the way down here to 17.8. That is not a fun price target for us, and it could be triggered this week. We could lose this neckline this week if the data doesn't come out in our favor. If the data does come out in our favor, if it shows inflation calling to the downside, that could trigger the dollar index to have a bad week and trigger Bitcoin to have a positive week. And we really need a positive week to break this 4-week consecutive streak to the downside here. So very important that the data comes out in our favor. The other thing worth looking at is altcoins right now are getting decimated. If you look at today specifically, Gala down 6.3%, Aptos down 3.5%. Anywhere you look, Solana over here down 5.7%, Phantom over here down 3.4%, Algorand 3.4%. There's nowhere to hide in this market. Things are getting wrecked. Even solid plays like Matic down 2.6%, HBAR 2.8%. There's only Casper up here another 4.6% outperforming, and Render up another 3.3%. This is because people are flocking to safety, and the safety play right now, relatively, remember this is relative, is Bitcoin. And so we have seen that whilst Bitcoin price has been down over the last 4 weeks, the last 3 weeks have seen a strong increase here in the Bitcoin dominance. So we are starting to see that maybe the Bitcoin dominance does want to go up to, like we said, because remember when we studied this, I've done a video in the past where we broke this down. We saw that in the last cycle, Bitcoin dominance went as high as 73% before then staying there for a little while, coming down, going back up again. So I kind of shared the notion that what if this did want to climb higher? What if it at least wanted to get to 59 and maybe mount an attack towards 70, right? There's room here for the Bitcoin dominance to go up. But unfortunately, Bitcoin dominance could be going up whilst the Bitcoin price goes down. So the Bitcoin price could go down, people flock to safety, get out of altcoins, and relatively flow into Bitcoin more than altcoins, relatively speaking. That could lead to our next leg up here on dominance. So altcoins are in a very difficult position right now. Look at Phantom here notching another red week here to the downside. Look how many red weeks they've had in the last 10 weeks here. Of course, they had their multi-chain issues on top of this horrible bear market. Just cannot catch a break here, tumbling to 19 cents. Many projects here falling. I mean, you take a look at Solana here, falling down to 18.37. Cardano falling 1.5 cent notching. Look how many consecutive red weeks here. This is a painful moment. But like I shared in yesterday's video, this is what a bear market is all about. And for me, this looks like the final shakeup. This looks like the final shakeup where the markets are trying to get you out of your coins before a bull market ensues. And you can see that happening. Money is flowing out of this market right now. Let's jump on here into total. This is the total crypto market cap. It has fallen somewhat, right? This week it fell by 0.69%. But really what we're seeing is a relative fall, right? Because the bigger falls are happening in altcoins. This is total 2, which excludes Bitcoin. And then if I show you total 3, which excludes Bitcoin and Ethereum, you can see we continue to downtrend here with money flowing out of the market. So if you take a look at the total crypto market cap now sitting at 1.01 trillion, it's a bear market. We know that, but we know that this has been as high as 3 trillion before. And again, those times will come. We expect to eclipse that with more adoption, with BlackRock, with institutions getting into crypto. 3 trillion is just going to be the start of the next bull run. I mean, maybe even getting up to 5-6 trillion in money coming in when some of these big boys can come in with their big funds. And of course, we spoke yesterday about the FASB accounting rule change. That's going to play a major role here in crypto as well. Let's do a quick bit of analysis on Ethereum as well. Let's take a look here at the EMA ribbon. You can see it's in the exact same position as Bitcoin, right? It's lost its EMA ribbon a couple of weeks ago. It's holding desperately onto its 200 exponential moving average, this blue colored line here. If we lose this on Bitcoin, Ethereum, we could be tumbling quite painfully here. If you look at support really here for Ethereum, doesn't really come in until 1270 here. You got a bit of support coming in here a bit later at 1130. So could be getting some dips. And that's why I've been sharing with you guys over my last couple of daily updates that I've got cash on the sidelines. I'm getting ready for a dip. I'm particularly looking for Bitcoin to see, can Bitcoin tumble? Will Bitcoin tumble here down to some of these other horizontal levels, right? Specifically speaking, 24.8 at the neckline. But if it loses that neckline, we could be heading as low as 20,000. And that would be a really nice nibble for me personally. But of course, do your own research. Let me know, what are you guys doing in the market? How are you feeling about this market? A big week coming up, CPI, PPI. Can we finally get that dollar index to cool off? Can we get it moving to the downside, which could give us a bit of a relief bounce, much needed one on Bitcoin? Big week ahead. I will be covering off with you guys. Smash up the likes, make sure you subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one.